Welcome back to Swordbox. So glad you joined us today. Let's check out our verse. The devil does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. That's found in John chapter 8, verse 44. Today I want to talk to you for a few minutes about lying. It's important to remember that lying is very serious. Who are you listening to? What are you listening to? John 8:47 says, "He who is of God hears God's words. Therefore you do not hear because you are not of God." 1 John 2:22 says, "Who is a liar but he who denies that Jesus is the Christ? He is Antichrist who denies the Father and the Son." In Romans 3:4, "Indeed let God be true and every man a liar." Let me read to you a few proverbs just that generally speak about lying. Proverbs 17:4 says, "An evildoer gives heed to false lips. A liar listens eagerly to a spiteful tongue." Proverbs 19:22, "What is desired in a man is kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar." Proverbs 19:9, "A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who speaks lies shall perish." And finally in Colossians 3:9, we get it pretty blunt, and it just says, "Do not lie to one another." So you may be asking yourself, is lying a big deal? You may say, hey, lying's no big deal. Everybody does it. But in Revelation chapter 21, verse 8, when God's listing some of the characteristics of people who are being thrown into hell, it says, the last part of verse 8, "And all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death." Now to me, that's taking lying pretty seriously. You might say, well, it's just a white lie. Matthew 12:36 says, "But I say to you that for every idle word men may speak, they will give an account of it in the day of judgment." And I don't know about you, but I don't want to have to stand there and explain a bunch of lies that I committed here on earth. So let's stop and think for a minute. What are you hearing? What are you listening to? Are you listening to lies? Or are you listening to truth? Are you thinking about lies? Or are you thinking about truth? That's primarily going to come from what you're hearing. And of course, that's going to come out in what you say, whether you're speaking lies or speaking truth. In Matthew 12:34, Jesus said, "For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks." So if you hang around people that lie all the time, if you're listening to the lies of the enemy all the time, that's what your thoughts are going to be, and that's what you're going to be speaking. Let's give you just a small example of maybe a thought life, maybe from watching TV, or our culture is so physically and built on appearance. So you may be saying to yourself, well, I'm ugly, or I'm fat, or I'm skinny, and I'm not as good as other people, and so therefore I don't have as much value. And let me tell you, that is a lie. The truth is, God says I am uniquely and wonderfully made, and God does not judge by the outward appearance. So remember that the devil is the one who wants us hearing and thinking lies, which is why God's Word says we're to bring every thought captive. Let's remember, do not lie to one another. God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.